Day 2 at Headingley, and it's time for Ask George. John asks, with Moeen taking his 200th Test wicket and on the verge of 3,000 runs, is it time for England fans to start showing him a little more respect?
Maybe. I mean, I think there's a lot of respect out there for him, isn't there? And a lot of fondness too, I hope. You know, the role of English spinner has often been a quite complex one. I remember people being quite disrespectful to Ashley Giles and, various other people who've tried to do the role. It's a difficult role. And for Moeen to take 200 wickets, it does prove that he's got some skills. The thing with Moeen, and I think we've mentioned this before, is he bowls some bad balls. He does. And he did it today, actually. He was very lucky. His fourth over was poor, and England fielded really well and kept the pressure on. It was a real key moment, I think. But he does bowl great balls. And even today, he got Smith and Labuschagne out. Admittedly, a build-up of pressure rather than any great delivery. But there's a lot to admire and a lot to like. He's not perfect, but... that's a great career record. 200 wickets, 3,000 runs. Very, very, very rare company, that.
Yeah, I'd take it.
So would anyone, really.
Jack Vrawl asks, is Broad getting Warner getting a bit boring now?
No.
Let someone else have a go.
No, it's terrific.
It's like you're just waiting for it. Everyone's waiting for it to...
And not for very long.
No.
I love it.
Danny asks, with Ben Stokes, one of the few English Test batters in recent times not to have attended a private school, carrying this batting lineup, does it make you wonder how many other potential players of this calibre never got a chance in the county system?
Yeah, I think that's a really fair question, and I admire you for keeping the pressure on by asking such questions. You're right, it's a hugely important subject. That report that's come out recently, the equity report, mustn't be ignored. It's not going to be. England, the ECB rather, have to respond within 3 months or whatever it is. And, the point you raise is absolutely fair. We've had a sport that's become very exclusive. And the great thing is that it will be better for everybody if it's a lot more inclusive. And, you're absolutely right to bring it up.
Rich asks, I think, a very important question. Can we use AI to clone bionic Stokes?
Wow, that's amazing, isn't it? I mean, he is special. Just enjoy him while he got him, because one of a lifetime.
Yeah, big time. Stephen Kissoon asks, in the 12 innings so far between them, Smith and Labuschagne have only made one score of 50 or more. Shouldn't England have won at least 2 games?
Well, I take the point, but... there's lots of other people in the team, aren't there? You've got to be so careful with these individual stats. Mark Wood didn't take a wicket today. He was fantastic. He created stuff. So individual stats, it's not really about that. And the innings Smith played at Lord's was utterly wonderful. So, it's not just about individuals.
Yeah, they've got too much to back it up. It's like once you get Smith out, all right, well,
Well, Mitch Marsh
comes in, or Marsh comes
Mitch
in.
Marsh has looked a really top quality player in this match. I thought his 100 was outrageously good. Fantastic innings. And he's looked terrific again today. So, who anticipated that happening? It was, magnificent batting.
And his dad wasn't even there?
His dad wasn't there. No.
Will Cooling says, could Ben Stokes bat at number 3 with Bairstow, Brooks and Stokes making up the middle order?
Well, I mean, could is he could. The question is really whether he would be the best option to do it, and he doesn't bat at 3 for Surrey. I don't think that would be the best use of his skills, not least for the fact that it's real tough for a wicketkeeper to come in that soon. It would be quite soon, wouldn't it? After keeping for a long time, so I don't think that's the best of ideas, if I'm honest. I would rather have Stokes at 3 and balance the side that way, and have folks who I think, by the way, his batting would complement the other more aggressive players in this team. I would definitely do that. I think the Bairstow experiment has failed.
Mm-hmm. JB asks, how long do we have to endure this experiment of Bairstow as a keeper? Folks must be looking for ancestors from other countries.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was the 8th. Was it? Yeah, I think it was the 8th opportunity of the series that he missed today.
8th reasonable opportunity.
Yeah, and I'm not being unreasonable with those. I've checked those with, say, Andy Zaltzman and Andrew Sampson. We agreed that it's 8. It's too many. I mean, it's really, really costing England. He looks devoid of confidence with the gloves. I think that spreads to the rest of the slip cordon in particular.
There's always more pressure on the slips to back him up if he goes wrong.
I just think tension isn't a great thing in a slip cordon.
No.
So yeah, I don't think it is working very well. Look, previously he was a competent keeper, but he's had a long time out. It's a big injury, and he's looking a little bit sort of ponderous on his feet. Yeah, I think the question is appetite at this stage. I don't think they will change it, but I think they should.
Joshua Owen asks, if England were to lose the series 5-0, would Stokes or McCullum keep their jobs?
I don't know. Probably. I don't know, actually. There's a long time before they play Test cricket again. So would they necessarily both want to keep their jobs? Do they necessarily want to play a 5-test tour in India? Too many tests in India, by the way. England v India in India should be a 3-test series. Really? Shouldn't it? Do you think 5's too many?
Yeah, someone's surely going to get ill.
An animal. Just there. There, gone. Did you see that? Anyway. It wasn't a very big animal.
No, it's just a small one.
Yeah. I don't know, but I think it would be fair. I think we're already there, really, where it is fair to look at this regime and ask if they were as prepared as they should be for this series. I don't think so. Yeah.
Wynne says, did last summer trick us into thinking that England's batting is better than it actually is?
I think that's a bit unfair. I think England's batting is really exciting, and it's done some brilliant things. Not just last summer. Last summer was extraordinary, but the whole Pakistan experience, there were amazing things in New Zealand, and actually this summer there's been some amazing things. So, no, I think England's batting is a real strength. They're playing with a certain freedom stroke recklessness that I'm not sure is always helpful, but you don't have to necessarily change things entirely to get different results. You just fine-tune a little bit. I don't think anyone would want England to change completely.
No. It's been fun.
I mean, they're crazy fun, this England side.
Yeah.
Almost every day.
Yep. Background Noise says, would you agree that the difference between the sides is that Australia have played to their potential and England haven't? If you agree, would this England side fulfilling their ability beat this Australia?
Crikey, it's too much for me to take in, to be honest. It's too much for me to take in. I'm not sure it is quite that simple, no. I don't know that Australia have always played to their potential for a start, because the question about Smith and Labuschagne, keep trying to pronounce his name in Afrikaans. Nah. And they haven't had great series, have they? So I think England have put them under pressure at times, but there have been quite a lot of errors in the England performance, the no balls, the missed opportunities in the field. I think that really hurts.
Sasibushan, sorry if I've butchered the name, says, was Bairstow rushed in for the Test series after the injury, as it doesn't seem he is in the right space for international cricket?
I mean, I'd have picked him, and I thought he started really, really well with the innings at Edgbaston. I mean, ideally you would have wanted him to have kept a bit more. He doesn't look at his best as the keeper, and the worry is that will seep into the confidence he shows with the bat. But he could still win this game with the bat. He is I wouldn't be thinking about dropping him as a batter, even though I take the point that you might easily say, and might be right, Ben Stokes might be averaging more than him as a specialist batter in this series. That's absolutely true. But I never thought it was Stokes v Bairstow. I thought it was how you got them both in the side. And my solution for that has always been have placed Stokes as a top order player.
And last one for day 2. James asks, can you think of any examples under the current leadership when anyone has been held accountable for anything? Just a soft one for the end of the day, Josh.
Crikey, it's a really good question, and one I'd probably like to think about and answer tomorrow, sorry. But you are right that the senior management, there have been people dropped, haven't there? Jimmy Anderson's not playing this game. I suppose he hasn't been dropped. That would be simplistic. But it is... it's off the top of my head, I'm thinking that there have been people who have been sort of blamed for individual performances. But I don't know, are we always looking for sort of scapegoats and simple answers? I don't know, because I thought, if I'm honest, that Chris Silverwood and Ashley Giles were scapegoated a bit after that awful Ashes series, because I don't think England had a chance in that series. I thought the schedule was just designed to fulfil the TV budget,
Yep.
broadcast deal rather, and that's all that anyone cared about. And then they were blamed for England not winning. They were never going to win. So I wouldn't want to do the same things again. And there's so much good that McCullum and Stokes have brought to this setup, particularly
It
Stokes.
does feel like more of a team responsibility. I think we've felt that almost a bit in the presses as well. They're sort of backing each other up.
Oh yeah, but you'd hope.
And
You'd hope
it doesn't seem.
but they will do that
collective.
even if they mean it. Even if they have doubts. I think it's fair to raise some questions about the preparation again, as they say for this series. And I think there needs to be a recalibration between work and play, preparation and play. I don't think England was as well prepared as they should have been, and that probably is at the door of the leadership, and McCullum in particular. That's their gig. But do you want to sack him and stuff for that? England had a brilliant 12 months under him. There's clearly a lot good, a lot to like. I would rather see opportunities for people to improve and change and get better rather than just sacking them and bringing someone else in.